An attack on a mosque leaves San Diego stunned. It's time for the Streamline. Everything you need to know in 10 minutes or less.
3 people were shot and killed at the Islamic Center of San Diego. 2 teenage suspects were later found dead as police swarmed the neighborhood. Community members say they're still processing what happened.
It's just sad that someone died today. It's very sad, especially in the mosque. They didn't do anything at all, and they do not deserve that. And I just feel so bad.
I have no idea right now what to think about it.
I just want to give the mother a hug. That's all
I'm flabbergasted. You know, I just can't even think.
Such an emotional day for everyone in that neighborhood and around San Diego. The Islamic Center houses a mosque and a school. Police say no kids were hurt. At least one of the victims, we've learned, was a security guard. City leaders say his actions likely saved lives. Mayor Todd Gloria praised the large police response and offered his condolences to the victims and the community.
I want to assure our Muslim community that we will do everything it takes to make sure that you can feel safe in this city.
This morning, the FBI is investigating the attack as a hate crime, and San Diego police are still at the scene. ABC 10 News anchor Gabe Salazar is joining us where all of this unfolded.
Yeah, 24 minutes. That's how long police say a day of prayer was shattered by gunfire. 5 lives were lost in the Claremont community. Now, this morning, the Islamic Center of San Diego, the entrance is blocked off by crime scene tape. There is still a big police presence here securing the perimeter. But here, the mood is still very sad and devastating because of what happened yesterday. So children from the adjacent school were seen being escorted out hand in hand during the shooting, where investigators say 2 teenagers, those suspects ages 17 and 18, opened fire outside the mosque, killing 3 adult men, including a security guard police say may have helped prevent an even larger mass casualty attack. And we're learning that security guard is Amin Abdullah. And this morning, he's being hailed a hero from quickly jumping in to stop the 2 suspects. Those who knew him say he was the nicest man you'll ever meet. We spoke with a woman who attends the mosque and lives steps away from, and she recounts the moment she first heard the gunfire.
And it sounds big, like automatic, so like non-stop. It was me and my friend. And my garage was open. I did not know what was going on.
We also learned that police were already searching for one of the suspects before the shooting even started. Around 9:42 a.m. yesterday, the mother of one of the teens called police saying that her son was missing, that he was suicidal, and that he took one of the cars. And so that's why police were already searching for one of those involved, and they were tracking that vehicle through license plate reader alerts all across San Diego. Now, just before noon, gunfire erupted at the school. So here's 11:45 a.m. Police received reports of an active shooter here at the Islamic Center, and within about 4 minutes, officers arrived, finding 3 men dead outside the building. And during that response, police say the suspects also fired at a landscaper several blocks away, which is the second crime scene. He was not hit. Then minutes later at 12:09, officers found both suspects dead inside a vehicle from apparent self-inflicted gunshot wounds. And this morning, the FBI and San Diego police are now investigating this as a possible hate crime after investigators say they found evidence of hate rhetoric connected to the case.
Most dynamic and impressive response that I have ever seen in policing. We have every single police officer available throughout our county that dropped what they're doing.
And so the Islamic Center of San Diego is offering support services for the community to make sure that they're okay mentally. And also investigators are also executing search warrants connected to the suspects, analyzing digital evidence, weapons found at the crime scene. And at the same time, members of the community are just trying to process how a place of worship and prayer could end up as a crime scene in what was 20 minutes of a nightmare. In Claremont, Gabe Salazar, ABC 10 News.
I thank you, Gabe. During that time, and really for the hours around the shooting, we saw scenes of kids running out of the Islamic Center, police taking them to a nearby school for safety.
Frantic parents, they rushed to the area. ABC 10 News reporter Ryan Hill spoke with them as they waited to pick up their kids.
This is where many worried and terrified parents were coming to pick up their child from the school at the Islamic Center. Now, I did speak with a man who says that his brother was walking inside to the center, had just greeted the security guard, went inside, and shortly heard those gunshots being fired. This gentleman has been going to the Islamic Center since 1993. He couldn't believe that something like this has happened in San Diego. This man says that his brother had just greeted that security guard for the Islamic Center. He had gone into the washroom, and then this is when that man's brother started to hear the shooting. He tells me that his brother thought that it was firecrackers or something like that, and then he started to hear clicks, and that's when he knew it was guns being fired off. This longtime center member tells me that his brother is all right. He says that the security guard who was shot and killed was a great guy, and that this is beyond shocking.
He was one of the best, just always standing there smiling at the people and ready to serve. And we never thought that he's going to be the first casualty. The guard, we see him every time we're walking in and out. He's a great guy, and he saw him lying down, in a pool of blood. He saw him with his own eyes.
Now, Matt, he tells me that he and others he's spoken to are just in a general state of shock after all of this happened. He and other parents that I spoke with were in a very kind of tense, anxious moment as they were just waiting desperately to pick up their children from the center. Reporting here in Claremont, Ryan Hill, ABC 10 News.
And police say one of the suspect's mothers called 911 early in the morning, told them her son had taken her car and some guns and was suicidal. Officers spent hours trying to track him down. They even used technology, license plate readers, to find the car.
The two suspects shot and killed themselves a few blocks away from the mosque. Witnesses tell ABC 10 News reporter Danny Miskell what they heard while everything was going down.
I'm at the corner of Salerno and Hatton Street. This is where witnesses say they heard multiple gunshots coming from a car that was speeding down Salerno Street from this direction. That car ended up down this way on Hatton Street past Batista Street. And that is where San Diego police have confirmed they found two suspects who had died by self-inflicted gunshot wounds.
It's pretty scary. It's pretty out of the ordinary. They told us to get back. We saw them completely surround the BMW, and I thought there was nobody in there, but then they surrounded it, and I saw gas coming out of it. Maybe they tear gassed it or something.
A harrowing moment for Alex Grayson, who lives here on Hatton Street, not far from where the suspects ended their own lives. San Diego police say that moments before that happened, they were coming down Salerno Street. A landscaper was working here when he was shot at by one or both suspects. He was not injured. Witnesses say the broken glass scattered on the street came from the suspects shooting out their car windows as they drove away. The suspects continued down Hatton Street toward Batista, where officers responded to reports of gunfire. Police found the vehicle stopped in the middle of the road. Both suspects were later found dead from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. One of them was seen lying in the middle of the street.
I don't know if he shot himself or if he got shot, but they were probably giving him chest compressions for a good 15-20 minutes.
Hours later, this remains an active investigation. San Diego police are still on scene processing evidence. They also say that these two suspects were 17 and 19 years old, and this is now being investigated as a hate crime. In Claremont, Danny Miskell, ABC 10 News.
Now, this tragedy, San Diego will never forget. We're going to stay on top of everything as it unfolds. The investigation, the memorials, and all the developments. You can find them throughout the day and in the days and weeks ahead on air with us and online, 10news.com. You can also get real-time updates sent to your phone through our free ABC 10 News mobile app.
The highly anticipated murder trial of Larry Millete is finally underway. I was in court for day one of the trial, where both sides presented their cases in opening statements on Monday. Larry is accused of killing his wife Maya in 2021 after she asked for a divorce. Her body has never been found. Prosecutors say Larry tracked his wife and tried to sabotage her career, even hired spellcasters to make her sick so she could not leave. They also revealed the FBI found a vial of poison in his home. The district attorney's office says Larry grew desperate as Maya planned to end their toxic marriage. Now, as a reminder, cameras were not allowed in court, but we did have a sketch artist who produced this picture here for us. Now, the defense fired back in court Monday afternoon. They argued investigators ignored Maya's affair with a coworker. Larry's lawyers told jurors there is no crime scene and no direct evidence. The first witness is scheduled to take the stand this morning.
Tens of thousands of people are evacuating right now as a fast-moving wildfire burns in Ventura County. The Sandy fire started Monday morning in Simi Valley. Heavy Santa Ana winds fueled the flames. It spread to more than 1,300 acres. CAL FIRE says at least one home and one other building have burned. Thousands of other homes and buildings are under threat. Roughly 750 firefighters are battling the blaze. Throughout yesterday, helicopters and tankers dropped water and fire retardant. Despite all the effort, as of late last night, there was still 0% containment.
Well, President Trump is holding off on planned military strikes against Iran after threatening the country to make a peace deal. But he says he's keeping military options on the table if talks fail again. Leaders in Tehran say they are willing to negotiate, but warn they won't surrender. Iranian officials say they are entering discussions with distrust. U.S. officials say they have not seen the concessions they want yet. Most importantly, a deal to end the Iranian nuclear program. Now, here at home, gas prices they are leveling off a bit. Nationally, gas prices did jump 2 cents overnight. It's now $4.53 a gallon. Here in San Diego, gas prices stayed the same. The average for a gallon of regular, it's still high, but it is staying at $6.17.
An American doctor working in Central Africa has tested positive for Ebola. The CDC says Dr. Peter Stafford caught the rare variant of the virus while living in the Democratic Republic of Congo. He's now being flown to Germany for treatment along with his family. The World Health Organization is tracking a new outbreak that has killed at least 131 people so far. One physician who survived Ebola back in 2014 fears this crisis is worse than the numbers show.
My biggest concern about this outbreak is that we learned way too much way too quickly for this to be anything but really bad.
And the outbreak is prompting new travel restrictions ahead of the World Cup. The U.S. is refusing entry to non-citizens who traveled through any countries dealing with Ebola. For now, the CDC says the overall risk to Americans remains low.
And that is your ABC 10 News Streamline. Everything you need to know today in under 10 minutes.